Good Saturday morning to you. I love the fact that we can have Saturdays with Sherry at 9 a.m. The great thing about today is we have on with us this fabulous friend. I fell in love with Josh and Hannah Zello a couple of years ago at a Kidman conference. And raise your coffee cup with me in welcoming Josh on Saturdays with Sherry this morning. Oh, I love it. You raised your cup. You are
I'm
so
ready.
on it. Yes. I tell you what, it helps to have it close by. All right. So, Josh, I want people to know about you, who you are, what you're about, and what you're passionate about, because I felt like there was just this instant connection. Y'all are fun, you're intelligent, you're witty. I could go on and on about the things I love about you personally, but I want people to understand what drives you.
Yeah, so like Sherry just said, hi, my name is Josh Zello. So my wife is named Hannah, and then we have got a 4.5-month-old baby girl named Avery. So that has been a fun, brand new journey. So number one, my great passion is those girls. So my dear wife and best friend and my sweet daughter having so much fun there. Loving getting to see her grow and seeing who she is in Christ. Um, I love reading. I love learning. And then I really, really love preschool kids ministry. So years back, I felt a clear calling towards preschool ministry. And it's funny, everybody that I had told that to said, Josh, that's not a job. You can't be a full-time preschool pastor. I said, well, that's what God's saying. So, funny enough, kept following that path, studying early childhood, and about 2.5 years ago, found that there was a church that I had, I had already loved and started to bond with, and they had a spot open for a preschool pastor. That job that I was told is not a thing. So now I'm here getting to lead preschool ministry, and now about to raise my own too. So but yeah, my the big thing that every single morning gets me out of bed is I really want kids to see Christ. So I really want kids. Right now, years back, I had read that 6 out of 10 kids who grow up in church leave church. Barna Group put that stat out, and I stepped back and thought, well, that's not acceptable.
Oh,
We can't just nod at that and move on and say, wow, that's sad. No, that's really, really bad. And I think a big part of that is that we spend so much time trying to show kids how to be good that we forget to show kids Jesus.
I
So
love that. I love that. And they've
my
got to
heart
see
is
it in
that.
the real world.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm convinced that if kids see Christ for who he really is, they won't leave because like Peter said, where else would I go? Right?
So you're this avid reader, you're this Kidman pastor of preschoolers, you're really savvy in all things IT and tech because I've seen you in your element and you thrive really well there too. So it's interesting to me what President Truman said. You know, leaders are readers. And
Mhm.
so speak into that a little bit about why is that the case? And why do we find more and more? You hear about the people that are leading Fortune 500 companies, the people that are millionaires. Most of them will tell you they're reading one book a week,
Mhm.
or they are, uh, in some cases, more than one book a week. They're typically up by 4 or 5 a.m. reading. So, what is up with the correlation of reading and leading?
I really think it's that books contain wisdom that's beyond us. And I was told years back from my mom, if you have a book, you'll never be bored. So if you go and sit in a hospital waiting room, even if they take 3 full hours, if you have a good book, you can get lost in that world. And then even, um, even, um, even beyond that, as we think and talk through leadership, um, leaders need to step beyond themselves. So if I just lead as Josh and don't grow from where I'm at right now, I'm going to burn out, and I'm not going to take those who I'm leading beyond me.
Yeah,
So
that's really
reading
true.
stands that.
Okay, so I love what your mother said. If you have a book with you, you are never bored.
Never bored.
Okay, smart woman, something easy and compact to carry. So let's talk about reading as far as creativity and innovation. What drives that? Why is there that correlation? Why is reading so important? I understand what you said about burnout, and I totally believe that. That you love to read. What are your takeaways, and what do you think are takeaways for other people in leadership?
So a big part of that is that books challenge you to think beyond what you would think on your own. So, and I had said that in fewer words, but um, I've got books on these shelves here. I have one big shelf there, one big shelf there, um, and and on these shelves are leadership books and commentaries and Bibles, and all of those books are going to expand my own thoughts because they're written by men and women who have had thoughts that I don't have,
Yes,
and now they're letting me into their own minds.
yes. So
Yeah.
when I moved to Tennessee recently, I let go of more than 1,000 books. And it kind of just hurt my soul. But I thought, okay, I've either read these and I know, or I have them in a digital form.
Yep.
But I still, like you, have bookshelf after bookshelf of books because they are go to for me. They
Yep.
are life, and I love seeing your bookshelves um, so full there. So let's talk about the person that's like, I am not into reading. I want to lead, but I'm either not a good reader
Hmm.
or I just don't get it. They're like, this is painful. How do we help them bridge that gap?
I get that. So, one thought as I lead into two quick tips. Um, as we've seen, and Sherry, you had just said this, I think we have quite a bit of good evidence that really strong leaders do read. So even if you don't read well naturally, it's worth trying because we've seen that really strong leaders do read. Um, I read years back, President Bush read one book every week while he was in the White House, which is incredible that he found time for that as he served as president. Wow. Um, so two quick thoughts there for those who reading is a challenge. Number one, find a time and place every day that you'll carve out and just try, even if that's just 20 minutes. Um, just say, okay, this is my one chair, my reading chair, and from 8 o'clock to 8:25, 8:20, I'm going to read. And even if that's one page, okay, great. That's one page that you had not read. That's one page into that writer's mind that you've not had. So,
That that is so good. Okay, I want to
yeah,
unpack some of what you said
yeah,
because several things are worth people really grabbing hold of now or later.
right.
If the if President Bush, the President of the United States, can find time to carve out to read one book a week, we have no excuse. Okay, that was the first thing that when you said it really grabbed me. The next thing I heard you say that grabbed me was find that chair, find
Hmm.
that reading nook, that space. And actually, I have one in my bedroom that, boy, it is a go to chair. I have one up in my office study It is my go-to chair. And during the move, I kind of got out of the habit of reading as much as I was. And Josh, at first, I couldn't even start with the 20 minutes. It's kind of like an
Yeah.
exercise program. I started with 5 minutes.
Yeah,
And then
that
all of a
works.
sudden, I realized that an hour and a half had gone by. And I was like, oh no, but I mean, I had free time that particular Saturday. But if you start, you get engaged. And then from just a personal standpoint, one of the best pastors I know, spirit filled, very anointed, great church following, shepherds well. He has openly admitted more than once that he has difficulty with reading. Now,
Hmm.
you would never know it on a Sunday morning, but he specifically has shared from the platform more than once how he has to read a chapter multiple times to get it, how he practices reading it before a Sunday morning. And yet, I mean, he preaches to thousands
Right.
over multiple services. And so it lets us know if it's important that we'll do it. What are
That's
your
right.
thoughts about people with learning difficulties in reading?
Well, that leads me into my second thought as to those who have challenges reading. I don't know if you've tried Sherry Audible. Audible is a audiobook app. Are we still good on audio?
Okay, you're breaking up really bad. And I'm trying to figure out if it's on your end or mine.
Let me take these out and see.
Okay, are we still good to go? All right, Josh, how are you doing there?
Any better?
Okay, it's still breaking up. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
then I'm not sure.
All right, so part of what I really hope we get to do is to get your reading list. And so it may be that you need to put that in the comment section. And I also wanted to know how you got into um, writing such great reviews on books, because so many times your reviews either give me a takeaway on leadership or they cause me to want to go read the book. And sometimes it's actually both. So let's see if you come back on. And if you don't, I'd love for you to leave those comments, your thoughts in the comment section when we get off, okay?
Sounds good. And you are breaking up on my end too. So I'll log out and log back in.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I guess we're going to say bye-bye for now. And I'm sorry that we're breaking up. I have no idea why. Josh, if you will, share your notes in the comment section and people can find it on YouTube and Facebook later. Until next Wednesday for Thought at 12 noon, have a great weekend and we will see you soon.